Good evening and welcome to the OnDeck ONWARD Denver Challenge. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. I'm Jimmy Sangenberger. I host Business for Breakfast with Jimmy Sangenberger weekday mornings on Denver's Money Talk, KDMT 1690 AM, where every weekday morning from 6 to 9, I'm not a morning person, by the way, I just play one on the radio, but from 6 to 9, we go live on the air and we talk about business topics, markets, investing, economics, issues that are going on down at the, well, right nearby at the state capitol or at the national level, all sorts of different topics. And I was very pleased several weeks back when the ONWARD Denver Challenge was kicked off to have one of the judges for this event, Corey Kampfer of OnDeck, on the show to talk about the OnDeck Denver ONWARD Denver Challenge and what OnDeck is doing as far as the whole idea of online lending, this new space that is still really getting recognition out there. People have frequently been thinking, okay, how am I going to get funding? Well, I got to go to a bank. And it tends to be that community banks are those that historically have given the most to smaller businesses. Well, community banks have been having a rough go at it in this century. And so really, small businesses like so many of you, I'm sure, here today, have been looking for opportunities to be able to access the capital that you need. And so that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to have Corey on the program, was to be able to talk about what's going on in this online lending space that is just unprecedented and very much an extraordinary way to figure out how can we move forward in the 21st century with providing small businesses in particular with the funding they need in order to provide great quality services and products for their customers. And so that's why I was pleased to have Corey on. I'm very pleased to be here tonight to be able to share him with you on this exciting opportunity, this exciting challenge. We have 3 incredible companies here that are going to be participating in the contest. 5280 Waste Solutions. I want to make sure I get all the names right. So 5280 Waste Solutions, Backcountry Nitro, or is it Nitro? Which is it? Nitro. Good, I got it right the first time. I should have checked before, but you know, sometimes I don't think everything through. And Luckyleo Dancewear. First of all, congratulations to everybody for being here and everybody who's gotten this far for the contest. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and to all the partners and everybody making this event what it is tonight. To really kick things off this evening, I want to introduce you all to the Chief Operating Officer for OnDeck to talk a little bit about the genesis of the ONWARD Denver Challenge and also what OnDeck is about. Please welcome up here Corey Kampfer.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much, Jimmy, and welcome everyone here. As you mentioned, my name is Corey Kampfer. I'm the COO and General Counsel of OnDeck. And one of the things that I really enjoyed before this event started was visiting with the contestants who made it all the way here and hearing the passion that they have for their small businesses. And it relates really well to OnDeck and how passionate we are about small businesses. That's what we do. We lend to small businesses. We made our first loan in 2007, so really not that long ago that we were a vision and a dream ourselves. And in fact, the name of the company came from the thinking that when the bank says no, we're on deck. We're here for you. We're here for the small business. We know how tough it is to run a small business. We know how tough it is to get capital as a small business. And we looked at the process through the bank system and realized that it takes on average 26 hours to go through the bank process. And banks are only open usually from 9 to 5, not on weekends, not at night. And we realize that small business owners, they don't have 26 hours to go through that process. They can't close their business to go to the bank. And at the end of that process, the answer is often no. And so we said, well, let's just bring this online. Let's have it open 24/7. right? So small businesses can apply at their convenience. We understand small businesses, and at this point, we've lent over $10 billion to small businesses. Yeah, and what we're really pleased about is the progress we're making right here in Colorado, not only in our lending to Colorado small businesses, which is over $250 million, but the growth of our office here, where we have nearly doubled the size of our office in the past year, which is great. Talent lives here in Colorado, and we're committed to being here. So Jimmy asked, what the genesis of this was. Well, it's really planting the flag that OnDeck is here to stay. We're committed to OnDeck. We've had amazing growth here, and so we wanted to give back and meet some of the small business owners that are in Colorado. So I leave you with that. I'm super excited about the contest. We had so many different really strong entries, everything from food trucks to transportation, and we wish we could have picked them all because they were all worthy, but you're the 3 finalists, and we can't wait to hear your story. And the good thing is there will be a winner, but everyone's going to leave here with something. So with no further ado, let's get to the contest.
Thank you very much, Corey. And so we just heard from one of our judges. We're going to go through and introduce our other 2 judges for the contest this evening. And if you could hold your microphone a little close, I think it will help us with the audio as you're presenting. And one thing I know from radio, and there's just only a couple of things that you actually learn as a radio host, and that is hold the mic up pretty darn close, or make sure that it's close to you. So let's start with Abram Sloss. If you want to come up here, Abram, for 1 minute to just tell us a little bit about yourself and the Denver Metro Small Business Development Center.
Hi guys, I'm Abram, and I don't know what the banks I've been going to take a lot more than 26 hours, so I know I was really excited when OnDeck came to Denver, and to see their growth here has been fantastic. So I'm the Executive Director of the Small Business Development Center right downtown. We provide free one-on-one consulting. We do pitch events too, and we also do a lot of free programming, so thanks for having me.
All right, and Kimberly States, if you want to come on up. Tell us about the Better Business Bureau of this part of the state.
Thank you. Kim States, CEO of the Better Business Bureau, serving Greater Denver and Central Colorado. We're supported by just over 7,000 small businesses in the Denver metro area and Central Colorado. Also offer a suite of free programs for businesses as well as consumers in our community.
Thank you very much. All right, well, are we ready to learn what the rules of the contest are in a nutshell? I sure am. I'm ready, revved up and ready to go. All right, I'm going to read here verbatim what I've been given. To qualify, each small business who enter the ONWARD Denver Challenge must have been in operation for at least a year, is headquartered in the Metro Denver, Colorado area, and have generated at least $100,000 in revenue in the last year. Over several weeks, OnDeck received dozens of entries, which were narrowed down based on their responses to why they chose Denver to start their small business and what owning a business in the Mile High City means to them. And the 3 finalists selected are those who we will be welcoming here today. Again, 5280 Waste Solutions, Backcountry Nitro, and Luckyleo Dancewear. And by the way, the one other thing that isn't written here as far as kind of the functional rules is that they were selected in alphabetical order, although we have numbers there, so it's not entirely alphabetical, but close enough, right? So I think we get started, and what we're going to be doing here is we're going to have 4 minutes for each of the groups to present, each of the companies to present, and then 3 minutes total for the judges to ask follow-up questions before we bring up the next group. Are we ready? All right, well, please welcome, to kick things off, the first up, 5280 Waste Solutions. All right, guys.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much. It's really great. It's an honor and a surprise, frankly, but I think I am in the right place. I do know how difficult it is to raise money to start a business, and I've always been told that I have a face for radio. So I think this will work out. I started 5280 about 7.5 years ago, and it was a cold start. I didn't know anything about the industry, had never been in it before. Just opportunistically had a chance to buy about 8 trucks and 340 containers. How many of you have you seen the 5280 cans around? So it's been great. I'd like to say I'm the smartest guy in trash, but I think we also caught the local economy at the right time. We're now running 33 trucks, 1,640 containers, and we employ, most importantly, about 55 people. So it's been a great experience. I do share the concern about access to capital for an early business. I didn't know about OnDeck, or it wasn't around at the time. We sought out a community-minded lender out of Minneapolis, the Community Reinvestment Fund, which likes to lend to businesses that have a social purpose, right, and a community cause. So we were lucky to team up with them. It takes a lot more than 26 hours, in my experience, to do an SBA loan. We got started with 3 of those in a row. Finally got credit-worthy enough to get a commercial relationship with a local bank, and it's been a great experience ever since. We did start out intending to serve the community with innovative solutions that wound up with green results. So we've continued to reinvest in that, and about 3 years ago, we bought the property that we've been leasing. It's an old closed municipal landfill. And our intended purpose was to form another business, 5280 Recycling Solutions. And after 3 years and a lot of hard work with Adams County, you'll see the doors open on that here in about 90 days. There are no construction and demolition debris sorting and recycling centers anywhere in the Rocky Mountain West. We decided we would make a dent in that. If you look at the waste stream by weight, the EPA will tell you that 50% of the material that goes to a landfill is related to construction and demolition debris. So that's the impact that we decided to invest in. We're involved in other aspects of community benefit. I can't talk in 4 minutes. Who's the guy with the clock? I can't. It's really hard. A minute and a half. We work with an organization called Extreme Community Makeover, if any of you know of them. They target 9 low-income neighborhoods in and around the city of Denver, and our staff goes out and participates with them. It's an entirely volunteer effort, but we will bring them probably 150 to 200 containers a year to help facilitate their cleanup of these low-income neighborhoods. So that's a great experience. I do it myself quite a bit. We've participated in the Hammers and Angels makeover every year, and we get involved with the schools. We've done e-waste recycling training using our containers at some of the elementary schools. So that's what we've done. That's our mission. We look forward to continuing to make an impact. And again, appreciate the opportunity to be here.
So will you give me that stat one more time? It's 50% of the landfill waste
You
is...
can use the mic on
Do you want me to take it off?
your mic there.
Want me to take it off?
Oh, is it there? It's sorry. Okay, we're good.
Got it. So is it 50% of the stuff that goes in landfill is construction related?
The EPA will tell you that on a national average basis, 50% by weight of the material that goes to landfills in this country is related to construction or demolition debris and industrial waste, and those, we haul all those.
And 5280 Waste Solutions is the only one in the mountain region that's doing this or wants to do this?
Yes, that's right. Other people, I'm sure, want to do it. It's been done informally and illegally, I will tell you. In the past, we currently have the only use permit. It took us a long time to get through Adams County to get that. We've invested in a building, and we're going to actually do that recycling on top of this closed municipal landfill. And we're doing some pretty innovative things with the byproducts of that. We're actually going to sort out some materials and create some products on site that I can't tell you about today, but I think you'll like.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. I mean, really great growth in the business. When you look forward about how to further expand the business, how do you make the decision of kind of where and the when?
Well, there's so many variables, right? I mean, the market if you got your finger on the market, it can tell you where to go, or at least what the good ideas are, right? We also think that we have a purpose, so we're trying to do both that. I like to call myself an eco-capitalist, right? So we're trying to do something green. It's got to make good economic sense, and we're trying to just carve a new space in the market so that there's opportunity for those contractors, building owners, constructors that want to do the right thing with materials, and so many of them do, to have a place to deal with that. Okay.
So is there, how much of it, what's the price point difference if I'm a contractor coming to you versus going to the landfill? What's that difference?
It can be significantly more expensive, right? Because you've got to transport that material more than one time. You've got to touch it at least once, maybe multiple times that you don't if you're going to the landfill. And then it's all about end markets, right? What material can you sort out that's usable? Everywhere around the country, metal has some value, right? But depending on soil conditions, right? In California, you can sort out drywall, and it's a great soil amendment. The pH balance in Colorado soils doesn't support that, so it can't be used for that purpose. So it's all about understanding the local economy and the local markets for any of the products that you can harvest.
We all know the local economy in Denver is just booming. Is hiring and to fuel your expansion and growth plans challenging?
It is challenging. It's increasingly hard to find drivers with a commercial license. Lots of young people don't want to drive, right? It's not a desirable job. But we try to pay at the top of the pay scale. We offer the best benefits. We do matching retirement funds and a really good health plan. So we like to operate toward the top of the market, right? We're not the cheapest in town by far. We charge a premium price. We've grown mostly because we provide premium service, right? That's what it's all about. A lot of them, well, there's lead projects, clearly, right, where that's a requirement. And we actually, in another business, built a software system that actually tracks recycling and recycled materials. And we've actually got that installed now at 35 different roll-off companies across North America. And I built that so we could run our business more effectively and actually track the materials more efficiently for ourselves. It just happens that all these businesses and recycling centers run on about the same parameters. So we've made a little business out of that too. The lead projects certainly are the top of the food chain, but there are a lot of homeowners now who want to tear something down in Highlands and rebuild, and they want that material repurposed, the demo material and the remnants from the new construction. So it's definitely the high end of the market, and that's where we've always practiced.
Great job, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. On my radio program, most of the segments are actually over 20 minutes long each because they know I like to talk and give me the time. So good job at keeping to the time and not having to worry about like a hard break where the computer kicks in. It's like it's commercial time. Okay, very pleased to welcome our next company, Backcountry Nitro. Nitro. Oh, it was Nitro. Nitro.
All right. Well, we're just going to jump right in here because of the time crunch. Tell you a little bit about the business, and in true Backcountry Nitro fashion, we brought our lady friends to help us.
Colorado, Backcountry Nitro, escape the city in a Rocky Mountain way, made from passion, I can just share. Best friends on a mission, and coffee with the flair.
I'm Jenny, the brains behind the coffee and a co-founder. I've been slinging coffee for a long, long time with my parents back in New England, proud owners of Red Barn Coffee Roasters. But years ago, the allure of the Rockies drew me to Colorado, Boulder to be exact, where I fed my hunger for the outdoors. But my thirst for coffee wouldn't leave me be. So, sold my beloved backcountry setup, ironically, and used that money to buy my first round of ingredients to start a business.
Hey guys, my name is Alyssa Evans. She slings the coffee and I do packaging design. Years ago we met in California and she told me about her big coffee dreams. So I know she needed a badass can. I took all my years of corporate experience, sprinkled a little tinge of the mountains in there, identified her demographic and threw a naked skier on the can.
Full cheeks and all. What more could you ask for doing business with your best friend, pushing coffee that stands for shenanigans, and closing deals in your snowboard boots? True story. Ain't that right, lady?
Backcountry Nitro. Escape the city in a Rocky Mountain way. Made for passion. Can to share. Best friends on a mission. And coffee with the flair.
So what we have here is Backcountry Nitro, a coffee business inspired by our rowdy group of friends. We saw an opportunity to shake up the coffee industry, and we wanted to provide you with something that would kickstart the adventure. Our coffee is guilt-free and ready to take into the backcountry or the backyard.
Or floating down a river in a pirate costume. Our coffee checks off all the boxes for being Boulder-based. We're vegan, organic, no sugar added, all free range. This ain't no milkshake. You do not need an encyclopedia to read the ingredients in the can. It's all healthy Colorado goodness, fit for our lifestyle, and we hope it fits yours too.
Is that a question I see in the back? You want to know how we make our coffee? We start with antioxidant-rich ingredients, and we brew that down into a tea. We combine that with our cold brew coffee, and then we send it down the canning line. That's when we inject nitrogen into the cans, and that's what gives us a frothy nitro coffee as smooth as the Dickens.
Think sexy Guinness pour. That's what it looks like.
Backcountry Nitro. Escape the city in a Rocky Mountain way. Made from passion. Can we share? Best friends on a mission. Coffee with the flair.
Hey, Jenny, $10,000, that is a lot of money. What do you think we could do with it?
Okay, Alyssa, the list goes on and on. We need new ingredients for our new flavors. We have two new coming out. We need food scientists to help ramp up the new flavors. We're going to need distribution. We want to deliver kegs to corporate offices all over. And the list can go on and on. You think maybe we can...
Well, now the mic's on. You think we could hire some more employees?
Not yet. Backcountry Nitro. In a Rocky Mountain way. Can to share. Best friends on a mission. And coffee with a flair.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We're incredibly happy to be here. Was that timed well? Good.
You're 20 seconds up. Keep going for 20 seconds.
Okay. Crap, we couldn't hear it clapping.
So I've seen a lot of pitches, and I don't think I've ever seen a quartet. Well done. Thanks for having me.
Thank
in the
you.
audience. I got a couple questions about the business. How many people do you employ?
It's just us.
Just you.
You're looking at it, yeah.
Okay. And who are you selling this to currently? Where is this shelled at? Who's buying it?
So Eldora is our biggest client. We wanted a mountain, it's close to our hearts, we wanted a mountain ski resort to be our first client. So we have provided them with coffee throughout the winter. They want us back for next year. And right now, just local markets in the Boulder area. We would like to, with the money, we would like to use it for production. So we can deliver kegs. We need to buy all of the kegs and then deliver that because on tap it tastes even better than it does in the can. And that is something that every business or most people we're networking with are asking for is if we do kegs. So we would like to provide that.
Yeah, that was certainly the most unique presentation, and it was great, and the coffee is delicious. Thank you for that. Now, do you have storefronts too, or you just sell
Direct to consumer. Okay. Yeah, so I grew up with my parents had storefronts, cafes all over, and I kind of learned from, their mistakes and their doings, and my lifestyle is just a little bit more on the road, so a coffee in a can just makes sense. Yeah.
We sell online as well.
Yes.
I was certainly grateful to get this one for free, so thank you. But if I had to buy this retail, or what does it sell for?
So right now, suggested retail is $3.99, and that's pretty low considering you go to a coffee store and you get a nitro cold brew and it sells for $6-7, and we do have infused superfoods in it, so that ups our price a little bit more. But we still want to be fair, and because we know that this is probably a younger demographic, and we want the people who want this coffee to come in and be able to afford it. It's a lot cheaper to make. It costs $1.29 a can to make.
What is the impact that you hope to have in your community, the Colorado community?
Awesome. Want to take this one?
Sure. Sure. We're partnered with POW right now, so
Protect Our Winners.
Protect Our Winners. It's like a really important cause. They go around the country and talk about climate change awareness, and right now that's just our tiny contribution. But with every step of our company, we're looking to improve. The ways that we are trying to send it out using recycled products, using cans instead of glass. Cans are much more easy to recycle than glass is, and lighter to ship as well. So yeah,
I didn't check it out.
yeah. Yeah. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having us.
Great job. Now, the only thing you need for your next pitch is a little harmonica. I have 8 in the car. You name the key for the song, and I know, but they're just in my car. I do have 8 harmonicas I do play and perform from time to time. And also, I'm glad to finally know, thanks to the song, that it's Backcountry Nitro, not Nitro. All right. Now, I need to refresh on the Lucky. That's right. Luckyleo Dancewear, where are you? Come on up. It's your turn.
Hi, guys. Hi, I'm Chelsea. Hi, I'm Heather. I'm her sister. We are sisters and co-owners of Luckyleo Dancewear. We're a brand that supplies dancers with unique, customizable, incredibly made dancewear right here in Denver. Before Luckyleo began, we were both professional ballet dancers. We tragically had, thank you, but we tragically were injured at 19 and 22. This sudden end to our dream profession spurred us to renew our creative passion in another way by founding Luckyleo. As dancers, we really saw that when you would go into a dance store, they did not have the same options as if you would walk into a department store and look for a cute dress. It was really simplistic, boring design, solid colors. Luckyleo was created to solve that problem and fill that void and create really original designs for dancers today. About 2 years back, we began creating our own digital prints from artwork Heather and I paint to further anchor our backbone of unique products for dancers. This printed leotard niche has been an instant success. One client in a 5-star review said, "I am in awe at how they flatter my lines. I can't even describe how soft they are. They are made perfectly, and I love all the patterns they come in," which is a great example of how much our customers appreciate our printed products. Yeah, so we were able to grow our Instagram community from a following of 25,000 in 2016 to nearly 85,000 today of just organic growth on our Instagram. So it's really exciting. Our biggest challenge for growth right now is in the number of days to market for our products since our fabric is printed overseas. It currently takes a whopping 70 days to get our printed fabric back in the workshop and another 30 days to get it into the hands of our customers. So our customers are all about fast. They want it in their hands now with anything online. I'm sure you all can understand that 100 days is too long. We want to create a solution by buying an in-house printer, and that would cut down our days to market to just 3. Which is awesome. Our $60,000 a year that we're currently spending on printing fabrics overseas could go straight to payroll for employees and creating jobs here in Denver instead. And that's something we truly believe in, keeping everything in-house where possible to support our local community.
When we relocated to Denver, we were met with incredible entrepreneurs, amazing spirit. Everyone was so supportive. Our sewing team is fantastic, like nothing we could find in Phoenix. It's been so great for our growth. It's helped us grow from a team of 2 to a team of 17.
In 2 years operating out of Denver, our revenue increased 236%. The mayor stopped by for an interview, and Colorado Biz Magazine ranked Luckyleo in Colorado's top manufacturers of 2019.
If OnDeck awarded us with the $10,000, we're excited to be able to get an in-house printer and create designs so fast. We can make them right away. It would just be game-changing for our growth.
And there is a lot of room to grow in this market that's estimated at 96 million in the US alone. Our potential growth extends well beyond that number, since Luckyleo already ships to 64 countries worldwide. We can't wait to see what's possible for Luckyleo Dancewear here in Denver with this opportunity to create our prints in-house from start to finish. And we thank OnDeck for the chance for making this dream a reality for us. Thank you.
Questions, guys, we're ready.
Wow. I'll start with the 96 million. Is that the market for ballet?
I got that number because there's 48,000 studios in the US. They range from 80 to 800 students each, and even larger in some cases. So assuming that there's 100 students per studio, 4,800 dance students in the US, each year they need at least 5 leotards to wear to class, because you just don't want to wash a leotard every night. It's not fun. So with the estimated cost of $40, the estimated market is 96 million. 40 is on the low range for a leotard. Oftentimes they can run as much as 100.
So what percentage of that market do you think you've penetrated?
Yeah. I mean, I think that we're just on the cusp of it. Our products sell out within weeks when we release them. So we have this small batch process of releasing our products every 2 weeks, and that's something we call Express. They're completely original designs that we release in limited quantities, as low as 10, and they just fly off the shelf in literally 5 minutes. So I think we just began to tap that market. We're right on the beginning of it.
So you say you have 17 employees or partners? Are they employees or are they contractors that you use?
So we have 3 owners included in that number, and also a team of amazing sewists. Ondine's here. They make everything start to finish with us. We also know how to sew.
Yeah, they're full-time. We only have 2 part-time employees. Everyone is a W-2 employee with us.
Okay. And have you explored printers in Denver that print on fabric that say, hey, this is what we can contract you with, and I can get a design out for you within 7 days or 5 days?
We have.
And is it just cost prohibitive? Is that
It's cost prohibitive, and it's also, we've struggled with quality with that and reliability. The market for it is just not as big in Denver as what we need, and we really are all about keeping things in-house and under one roof. And so to be able to do that ourselves and create more jobs within Luckyleo Dancewear is what we're really passionate about. Yeah.
Do you sell these online, or it's just?
Yes, we currently sell online worldwide, like I mentioned, to 64 countries now. But we also have partners in Shanghai, and I think we have 8 wholesalers now that we work with to sell our products in stores internationally.
And what would be the average price point of one?
They start at about $54, and they can go up to $150. If they want it on a rush, we can do that for them because of people like Ondine, who are incredible sewists, and that's an advantage our company has over other custom dancewear products as well, because our team is incredible. They go so excellently and fast. Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you. Great job. Now, I don't think I'm necessarily the target market. Plus, I can't dance, I will admit it. Although my sister did dance for years growing up. And so I really appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate what all three of our finalists have been putting forward in terms of the presentations tonight, but also what you're doing for your communities and for your customers. It really is incredible. Let's give everybody a round of applause for a tremendous job. All right, so here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna send off our three judges so they can go and deliberate in some secret smoke-filled room. I've been guaranteed there's gonna be a lot of smoke in there, so none of us wanna go eavesdrop because we're not gonna like it. And while they're commiserating and making their decision, we're gonna bring our finalists back up here to just take some audience questions. One of any impact on what the judges are deciding, because remember, they're in their smoke-filled room, but it will give all of you a chance, if you want to inquire and learn a little bit more about our finalists. So, shall we? Thank you. And give a round of applause for our judges before they go off. All right, and finalists, everybody come on back up here. No more music, though. All right, and we don't really have to worry about the mic, but we'll just see what we can get. Does anybody in our audience here have any questions for our finalists? Yes.
Okay, I guess I'm going to be kind of selfish and ask everyone this question. What is one entrepreneur issue, problem, headache that you were just not expecting in the slightest?
We have a horror story to share. Oh, yes. She was asking for something terrible that's happened to us as entrepreneurs. And we're excited to share that with you. So when Chelsea and I first moved to Denver, we found a really awesome workspace called Prism Workspaces. And we were growing really quickly. And it was terrifying and exciting. And we were hiring people nonstop. We were bursting at the seams. There were leotards falling on our heads. And we knew that we needed to find another space fast. We came from Phoenix, and the market was entirely different there. As soon as we moved here, we found out that you cannot find an industrial space within just 2 or 3 months in the sizes that we're looking for. So we were hit with that reality. We had several lease negotiations in play, and we were sitting in a packed truck with all of our stuff in one truck. All of our employees promised work on the following Monday, and no lease signed. But the lease was signed as the truck was pulling up to the new location, and it all worked out. So that's our horror story.
Fantastic. All right, let's go to Backcountry Nitro.
Do you have a good one? We've got
Oh, gosh. I would say finding distribution has been extremely hard because right now we just didn't have enough money. Money is always a problem in entrepreneurials. We were at one speech where actually we met these girls, and they said, I don't know why they call them startups. It should be called keep goings. And with every mistake, you learn to just keep going and finding something new. For example, our cans, the whole key to activate the nitrogen is to shake it and then pour hard. But when you shake the can, because we don't have a widget yet, it sprays. So we could either use that as a downfall, or we can play it up in our marketing. So right now, yeah, using hashtag show us your crack, and it's been taking off, and it's fun, and it's catchy, and people are catching on. So always learn from your mistakes.
Great. So many challenges, right, that you didn't think about when you're starting a business. What do I do about that? I mean, that's really what success is, right, is figuring out what those are and then overcoming them when you don't know what they are. I think one of the most interesting challenges for us was to get this recycling operation established and going. There just weren't any others. There was no paradigm. You know, Adams County really didn't know exactly how to permit it or what the process should be, so they were very careful. But, you know, you look around our community, and there's so many people that would like something like that to happen, especially atop a closed landfill. If you could bring materials in and not bury them in the ground anymore, you know, actually put them to a better purpose and remanufacture or repurpose them for something else. So I was surprised that it took the effort through the administration and the steps to get that done and established.
hold that mic, Will. Who's next? Do you still have a question?
I had a question about the coffee. Where do you source your beans?
So no, we do not roast ourselves. Their beans are from Colombia right now, and we get them from a roastery on the East Coast in Rhode Island.
I do have a question for Bill. So once you've sorted through and figured out what you use, how far might you truck the materials to wherever the end user is? Like, what's your periphery of service?
You know, we're still defining that in Denver, but as I said, metals have value that will support transportation, you know, over the greatest distance, right? And it varies by market. You know, as we built software to run these recycling centers and run these hauling companies and tie the materials and stuff together, every market's different, right? So, you know, San Jose has different in-market opportunities than Austin, Texas does, which are different than what you have in Manassas, Virginia. So, you know, it's a two-sided coin like so many things, right? You get to try to identify a need in a market which is unique. And by definition, you know, the first time you do it, you're going to have to discover and pioneer that. It's just got to make good economic sense. So I'd like to tell you more. We're going to be coming out with some things that we're going to actually remanufacture on site that are unique in my experience across the country. And I'm really excited to do that. But I'm not going to tell you today.
I have a question for the Luckyleo team. We were eyeballing your leotards just for fashion reasons, not as have you guys expanded at all into that market, or do you find that people are buying them just to like tuck into a pair of jeans?
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because we keep talking about that, but I think currently we are very targeted on that dancewear market just because we've found that niches have been so exceptional for us. So it's interesting because I think that any creative person gets tied into these concepts of like, and then we could do this, and then we could do this, and as an entrepreneur, you really think that way, and it's hard to kind of rein it into the concepts and that will really benefit your customers that you already have. So that's kind of what we're focusing on right now.
I have one fun thing to add. Somebody did wear one of our leotards for her wedding.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, ma'am.
We often hear that local governments can be helpful, or they can be a pain. Like, what can the state of Colorado or the metro area of Denver do to help you?
Who wants to take this first? Working with local government.
I think that in Phoenix, we found a lot of roadblocks when we were trying to learn in general as a company. How do we pay sales tax? Questions like this. We found that as soon as we moved to Denver, we would stop in the local office and somebody face-to-face could give us an answer, which was an entirely different experience than in Phoenix. We've found that people are just a phone call away, and they're really honestly helpful and outgoing people that aren't cruel to you. So A+ Denver.
Not being cruel is important. Bill, would you have anything to add with your experience in Adams County?
Sure. You know, for what we do, the concept of a public-private partnership is such a great thing because we can't drive people to recycle more than they would otherwise. If you look at what's happening in places like California, to get a construction or a demolition permit, you've got to post a bond and create a diversion plan. And then you have to make that plan happen and you have to document it. That kind of thing will really create momentum where natural economics won't support that. And so we're starting to work with some local governments, and I think we're helping to move it that way.
You have something to add? Okay. Another question? Yes, sir.
Yes. So they are still going to be all natural, vegan, organic, free range. We're adding oat milk into our next ones because this flavor is black, although the goji berries, cacao nibs give a little bit of sweetness towards the end. We know that a lot of coffee drinkers like to add cream and sugar into their coffee, so the oat milk is better for the environment. It's more protein and it's a lot thicker and naturally sweeter than an almond milk. Also, being in Colorado, the new up-and-coming everything is CBD. So we are infusing CBD into our next one, and also some not magic mushrooms, but mushrooms with benefits to to increase focus and to help with recovery, because a lot of our clients are going to be athletes, and so we want to help them with that. And it's also so fueling somebody to start their adventure as opposed to getting a super sugary dairy drink that's not going to make you want to go climb a mountain.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks.
Any other questions from the audience? Yes, sir.
So you guys were dancers, you had coffee in your blood, you have recycling in your blood growing up.
No. It may be surprising to you, I never dreamed of being a trash man. My mom would be so proud, right? You know, I was able to pick up the assets just opportunistically, but I loved the vision of what it could be. I was actually working on one of the many failed businesses I'd had before this. I would urge everybody to throw themselves into opportunities, and you know, it won't always work, and mine haven't always worked. I was working on a synthetic fuel business based in Fort Collins, teamed up with the Engines and Energy Lab at CSU, and had licensed some technology to create synthetic fuel. And I thought, well, these trucks and containers came available, and we were looking for ways to gather organic material and pull them into this gasification technology. And that's how I first picked it up. And it wound up that, you know, the synthetic fuel thing kind of dissipated as it did for everybody across the country, and wound up with these trucks and cans, and wanted to try to achieve something in that same vein of success with, you know, the environment.
Story of market opportunity, and then looking for that and taking advantage of it. Any other questions from the audience? Okay, then I have a question, and this goes to the whole idea of marketing, getting the word out about your company, especially in the earlier stages, and then as you're really trying to keep the company growing for the future. What has been your experience in terms of marketing, and what types of folks are you reaching out to? How are you doing that? Backcountry?
Thank you. So we actually started our business via Kickstarter, and that was huge for us because it gets people really excited. It's a video, and then if they donate, they can be a part of the journey, and they're getting, you know, coffee, hats, T-shirts. So that gets people excited. But our company also is based on our rowdy group of friends, inspired by. And if you know you have enough organic content, like truly, this is our friends and everybody we've met getting out in the backcountry and having fun. You wake up. Coffee is community, you share some coffee, it just naturally spreads. So we're going the organic approach, and we're using social media, but also just getting it out there for every camping trip, every backcountry trip, every mountain, you know, just sharing the good vibes and the coffee.
You know, there's real pent-up demand for recycling, as I mentioned earlier, from major contractors down to, you know, two guys and a dog, as well as individual homeowners. So. You know, we haven't really had to look very hard. There's been businesses where I've had to dig a lot harder to identify customers and then communicate with them. But this one, there's a real pent-up demand, and I'm just excited to tap it.
Well, social media is kind of our game. We, as dancers, know how hard it is to get a job in the dance world. As ballerinas specifically, getting a paid gig year-round is almost impossible for females. Males actually have it really easy and can get jobs quite easily because there's not as many of them.
If they can dance.
If they can dance, exactly. That's the key. But yeah, I think that it's really been about creating a community online for us where we can connect people, give them a safe place. Dance in general can be really hard on self-image, body image. You literally stare in a mirror all day, every day at yourself. So we've really marketed the fact that if you're wearing something that makes you feel unique and beautiful, that you can really shine and share that with others. And it's been really exciting because I think that that's built our Instagram community so quickly, reposting people and then giving them a platform to share their experiences and kind of come out of it stronger. That's what we're all about.
If you were to advise, and maybe you already have, somebody who's about to start their own business of any kind, what would be the biggest piece of advice that you would tell them, not necessarily about getting going per se, but about maybe when they're dealing with the challenges in the early phases of starting a business?
I think that it would just be to be unafraid of failures, just like you were saying. We actually started out with a wedding business. I did leather working. I put myself out there and just tried to get some of my products to sell. And then it was really exciting when the leotards took off, and that was just an obvious avenue for us when the customers were enjoying what we made in that. So I think it's just being unafraid to experiment and fail.
Backcountry Nitro.
Learn from your mistakes and don't think of them in a negative way. Just learn from them. I mean, I started in San Diego. I had bought 2 food trucks before I even built them out, and then realized that cans were the way to go. So yeah, just take one step at a time. Even if it's just answering one email, you just have to keep going.
Be ready to wear a lot of hats and learn a lot.
I agree with all that. I would also say just be open to opportunity. You know, start off and run as hard as you can with all the commitment you've got in one direction, but you know, keep a wide view, because my experience is mostly in software, and I've seen probably more times than not, more than 50% of the time, when a business takes off into a new market, runs into a wall and bounces back and winds up going 45 degrees in one direction or another. You'll wind up in a different place. But if you just don't give up, if you just continue to run to daylight, you know, you've got a great chance of being successful.
I want to ask a question for the experience of listening to the other finalists. What would you say you've really gotten from listening to the other stories of the folks on the other team, shall we say, up here this evening?
Okay, yeah. Luckyleo is amazing because I love. It reminds me of is it the Lily Pritchard, the woman who who started all the flower packaging for the luggage. Cannot think of her name. It's an East Coast thing. Thank you. Yeah, but it's so amazing because everybody looks alike, and I was not a dancer, but I know that it's pink, tan, and black. Those are your choices, and to be able to be unique is incredible, and you're allowing girls to express themselves. And again, with the body image, I think that's amazing. And you guys are really good role models and a good business to follow. Yeah. And then, do you want to answer?
I just, you know, coming from, you know, my lifestyle and everything, I really appreciate that there's people like you that are in charge of taking care of people's waste, because it's really important, and people don't realize all that goes into it, and the impact that they have by just purchasing a lot of, you know, a lot of garbage to begin with, and where it goes, and the care that you take to bring it somewhere good. Yeah.
I have a daughter who's 29 years old, and I talk to her almost every day. She lives in Manhattan and works for a big PR firm, but she aspires to do these kinds of things that you guys are doing. And it's terrific for me to see that you guys have stepped out and done that. It really is. It's inspiring. It's great.
I think in general, just getting more connected to a community of business owners is really exciting, and I appreciate OnDeck for doing that. It's hard when you're in the grind of day-to-day running a business. You don't get an opportunity to go outside, really. So meeting people in a similar vein is difficult. So it's just a priceless contact to have gotten to know you guys, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to learn from you in the future.
Fantastic. You know, I just have to say, I think they are having some fun in that smoke-filled room. I don't know what they're doing in there, but, you know, make it some more smoke. I don't know. Okay, so, they're coming. Shh, shh, be quiet.
Everybody, hi.
Actually, can each of you tell us, how did you find out about the contest?
Yeah, go ahead real quick.
Yeah, we got an email from SCORE, which is a government-funded awesome opportunity. They sent us an email letting us know about it, and we jumped on it immediately.
Awesome.
Hurry, quick.
I had somebody I knew in the office, and she gave me an email. Yeah.
And we have a great marketing person, Amanda, in our office, who came across this and came running into my office and said, "You have to do this." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, it'll be great."
Fantastic. Now, do we want our finalists to be seated, all standing up here? How do we want to do this?
I think maybe standing up.
Perfect. Everybody be standing. Okay. Yes.
Brian, I don't have anyone to hug.
Okay, well, first of all, can we give another round of applause for our finalists? Occasionally I amaze even myself, that idea of having audience questions. I think it was a pretty good idea. Great questions. Thank you all for your participation this evening as well. So we have our winners to be announced. So we're going to go backwards this time from third down on to first place. So third place, congratulations to Backcountry Nitro. Phenomenal job. And I love that music. Next time, let me know. I'll bring my harps from the car. Okay. Second place, 5280 Waste Solutions. Congratulations. Good job, Bill. And then congratulations in first place, Luckyleo Dancewear. Phenomenal job. I'm just extraordinarily impressed with everybody for what you bring to the table, for your presentations, and the way that you were able to express yourselves in answering the questions. Because when you're put on the spot and you've got some real outcomes that you're working for, it's not always easy to find the words, and you're all exceptionally well spoken. So congratulations, everybody, for a job well done. Okay. What do we want to do now? Do we want to just wrap it up? Okay. Well, I just want to close before we take some photos with our winners. I just want to close by thanking OnDeck for putting this together. What an incredible opportunity to not just give small businesses in this Denver metro area a shot at growing their businesses a little better, a little more with their help, but to give an opportunity for everyone who's here to come together and hear the stories and hear the experiences. How many of you own a small business or are involved in running a small business yourselves? So we got a bunch of folks in here. And you're the backbone of our economy. I know it's said all the time, but it really is true. A majority of jobs are created by small businesses. So first, I want to give a round of applause and thank you to OnDeck for a great job putting this together. Please give it up. And then give it up for every business owner in this room and the folks who are on your team who every day, day in and day out, are going through the grind, sometimes literally day in and day out. Give a round of applause to yourselves and to your peers. And I also want to thank OnDeck for the opportunity to be here. It is always so great when I'm on Business for Breakfast or elsewhere, being able to talk with businesses about your experiences. I love spotlighting businesses on my program, so please feel free, if you have a business, to come talk to me. Would love to see what we can do about maybe just doing a segment about what your business is like and experiencing the growth of your business and the challenges and all of those kinds of things. But thank you so much for coming out tonight, and enjoy. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful evening. Have a great one.
We cannot believe this just happened. It is unreal. We have been talking about this for weeks. We've been so nervous. We've been practicing our speech, and our followers actually on Instagram have been coaching us for our public speaking because we were really nervous. They offered some awesome tips, and we're so excited to have won the grand prize.
We just want to thank OnDeck for the amazing opportunity to have this printer in-house, which is something that we've dreamt about for years now. It's something, the moment that I put a brush onto a page and I thought of that concept with Heather, like, we could put this on a leotard. How cool would that be? And then to actually have this opportunity to make it in-house, it's really a dream come true.
Amazing. It was an honor even just to be here and be one of the finalists. We have so much we can do with it, starting with just buying new cans. We need new cans, distribution, the list goes on and on.
I think we're just gonna breathe deeply and be like, we did it! Or a happy dance.
Yeah.
Like a moment of, did this just happen? And then
Breathing is top priority because we forgot to do that for a long time, so that's number one.
We're just really excited.
Really excited to come in and tell our story to you guys. So yeah, we're definitely gonna get a good cheers on, for this.